Social norms, like, do we have any or do we not? Tracy, this is a question for you. I'm teeing you up for this one. So if you can talk to us about social norms, set the context there.
Yeah, I think we're in this new world of social norms and how we're going to be coming together, especially as we braid the digital and the physical. So if we're going to be doing more remote work, some of us are in the office, some of us aren't. We've got to think about the norms of like, how do we share our schedule in a transparent way so that we're in the office at the same time as other people? If some of us are in the office, in a conference room, and some of us are remote, and we are all on screens so that we have some presence equity. Are we looking at each other? Are we looking at the screen? What are the norms in terms of how we're relating to each other? What are the norms in terms of how we're sharing information? What are the new protocols in terms of, how we behave in meetings so that everybody feels included no matter where they are? Those are some of the new opportunities I think that we'll see in terms of social norms. And the opportunity as well will be to be really explicit about social norms. Like, what do we value and how do we behave? And what are some of the shifts we need to make?
I think a lot of that really kind of speaks to just being more thoughtful, right? I mean,
yes.
Isn't that part of it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's that intentionality. Like we're not just going to go to the office anymore and kind of, not think real hard about it. I think we're going to be really intentional about where do we want to do which kinds of work and how do we make sure people are included. Kyle, I loved your comment earlier about mental health, which we know is a huge issue right now. So how do we have people feel included and feel safe and know what to expect so that there's a level of really comfort as people come back to the office and as they start to mix their work to a greater extent.
When you talked earlier about like, when I got people back to that gym and you said like the guys were on the left and the girls were on the right, like, that speaks to social awkwardness. And I think we're kind of back into like a socially awkward scenario again. Like some of us will just like collide back in, but I think that there is like that redefinition going back into the workplace, the intentionality around it. Like earlier I said, like, why are you here? Like there has to be that question that we ask, like, why are we here? We're not just showing up. This isn't roll call. Like there's purpose behind like why we're here. And now we have the technology to not be there. So like, okay, why are we coming together? And what does that actually mean? What does that collaboration look like? And I'd have to say that don't you think that like impacts like how senior leadership should be looking at their culture?
Yeah, totally. I think this is all about culture. I mean, I think that the purpose is so critical. Like we know that when companies have a really common sense of purpose, when people share that sense of purpose, there are better results and people feel more fulfilled. But we also have this moment to be especially conscious about our work and our work process and why we go to the office. And so thinking consciously about the purpose for the work day to day is a big deal as well.
Now, that's not to say you're going to wake up one day and say, we've arrived, we've adapted. It's a constant struggle and a constant battle to continuously adapt.
We've adapted. We're there.
Yeah. That doesn't exist.
Well, there's a great saying that kind of builds on what you just mentioned, which is like, how do you open up a small business? You open up a big business.